Hello everyone, yes, Jules is off this week, so everybody's favourite soy boy, Phil Chambers, is here to take you through all of the insane things happening in wrestling this week. Hit the intro. So let's kick things off with Priscilla Kelly. As you might remember her from a certain tampon spot that kind of sent the wrestling Twitterverse into a little bit of a meltdown. Well, she's back, and this time she's gonna puke. She's gonna puke. At the Ultimate Bar Brawl in Atlanta, Priscilla, let's say, experimented with further bodily fluids. It was a late night show, a bar show. It's held exclusively for adults. She puked all over the face of Eli Everfly, while her husband, Darby Allin, yelled, "Kick his head off." Well, she didn't do that, but instead, yes, it bears repeating, she shundered all over this guy's face. Now, you might deem this as a kind of desperate attempt to maintain a social media buzz, but let's face it, that is the world we live in. And come on, is barfing all over a fellow professional's face really that much worse than WWE jobbing Dean Ambrose out to Ajax before his imminent departure? And at least this was the actual finish. I mean, in 2019, there are just two finishes that actually live up to the name, and that's Kenny Omega's One-Winged Angel, and now Priscilla Kelly spewing all over her opponent's face. And let's say this wasn't so bad. I mean, it's not as if she dropped her pants, took a crap in the toilet, took a picture of that crap, and then, let's say, sold it for $5. Yeah, okay, so onto something worse. Yeah, something truly disgusting, and not that noise Nia Jax makes every time she picks up the microphone. But an independent wrestler selling pictures of her own poop after depositing it in a toilet bowl. I mean, what was the thought process here? Yes, it's the Super Bowl today. Bowl, toilet bowl. I'll sell pictures of my poo! Shotzi Blackheart, whom you may or may not remember from Tough Enough, is charging $5 for that exact privilege. Yeah, it's an interesting spin on merchandise, isn't it? But come on, no one's really gonna pay that, are they? Wrestling fans aren't the stereotypical marks that Edge and Christian likes to portray them as, are they? They're just normal people like us, right? Well, yeah, one of them, I hesitate to say us, actually bought a picture of her poo for $5. I mean, kinks are kinks. Some people are turned on by basic intercourse, others delve more into sort of fringe fetish territory, but this is, it's not exactly a video of her like defecating, which I guess would actually involve a human being. No, this is a picture of a turd in a toilet bowl. FYI, wrote one mystery buyer, I am doing this to support you, not because I am some weirdo. Now, a quick Google search tells me that Shotzi owns a store on Pro Wrestling Tees, so this person could have just gone in there and bought one of her t-shirts. As merchandise goes, this is only, well, slightly less foul than that Eric Young plastic beard that TNA tried to flog to siphon Daniel Bryan's popularity. Okay, so I was kind of excited about the frankly wonderful development in wrestling merch of wrestlers selling pictures of their poo that I jumped in the studio yesterday to record this, completely forgetting that it was the AEW Double or Nothing ticket announcement party last night, and I kind of have to talk about that. So there was a whole bunch of announcements, the biggest obviously being that Kenny Omega has actually signed with AEW as an executive vice president as well, just like Cody and the Bucks. But they also announced a few matches. We've got Hangman Page versus Pac, which should be amazing. We've got SCU versus CIMA and two of his Oriental Wrestling Entertainment trainees. And let me tell you now, if you haven't already been and checked out OWE on YouTube, go now, watch them. They're incredible. It's ridiculous, flippy, crazy kicks. They're just so athletic and just so fast, and it's mental. It's not like anything you will have seen before. It is well worth checking out. They're also setting up a few matches as well. Chris Jericho faced off against Kenny Omega on the stage. That looks like they're going to go Jericho Omega 2 as probably the main event of the evening, and then the match that I'm probably most looking forward to is the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon and Rey Fenix against the Young Bucks. That's just dream tag team match territory. Now this in itself isn't really insane. We kind of expected it to happen. We assumed Kenny was going to sign with AEW because all his friends are there. It would have been insane if he'd actually taken WWE up on their offer. But with all this that's happened and with all the build to this event, it kind of looks like AEW could practice what they preach and actually change the world. Now the tickets aren't even on sale yet, but Meltzer said in The Observer that just under 12,000 ticket code requests have already been submitted. Now obviously it's still early days, they've got a long way to go, but AEW could legitimately be the biggest threat to WWE since WCW. And for a company that hasn't even put on a show yet, that is insane. That WWE promoted Jeff Jarrett on the road to WrestleMania is a strange development. I mean, even stranger was the introduction made by his roadie, only it's not his roadie, it's the road dog, who couldn't have looked and sounded more like a goddamn douchebag if he wore a flame shirt, frosted his tips and hung around outside of the school gates. He's still saying words like shiznit in 2019. He looks like Tesco value Fred Durst. He thought Rusev's correction to Becky Lynch on Twitter when he said it's not the pre-show, it's called the kickoff show. He thought that was a heartfelt work of a company man hoodwinked into thinking that every match matters and everyone's a winner. Even stranger was the sight of Jarrett dressed up in his misogynist garb of 1999, even though he was playing through his hits of the New Generation bit. I mean, even stranger, after Jarrett threw down the gauntlet, Road Dogg said, "And if you ain't down with that, we got 2 words for you. We." So I guess Jarrett has now joined DX, in addition to holding memberships with both the NWO and the Bullet Club. Even stranger was Elias's new heel role, because he turned heel 2 weeks ago for no other reason than to feud with Jeff Jarrett. And after this match, 2 baby faces ganged up on him. Like Shakespeare, opera or ballet, WWE creates compelling good versus evil content with larger than life characters. Stephanie McMahon, October 2016. According to the credible Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com, the Viper Randy Orton has told his colleagues that he is theoretically open to listening to an All Elite Wrestling contract offer. Yes, this is insane for valid reasons. This is the guy who'd get a WWE title push if he was caught sharing a cigarette with a minor outside of a house show he barely performed at. A guy WWE has for years and years paid main event money, even when the only he gave could be found in a diva's handbag. And this guy, Randy Dive Orton, is entertaining the idea of punting WWE right in the head. Randy Orton. This is also insane when you consider the practicalities of the move. The idea of Orton under the management of Cody and the Bucks is just piss funny. Imagine Kenny trying to coax anything out of Orton that isn't a series of chin locks. Imagine Orton solemnly shaking his head from side to side as Matt and Nick Jackson run through the amount of super kicks that they're gonna have in their match. Imagine Orton scanning Joey Janela up and down and wondering what the hell has happened to this business. It's amazing. It's worth it just for the banter alone. Get your checkbook out, Cody. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I don't often get a chance to be in front of the camera and say this, but honestly, thank all of you so much. We have the best job in the world, and we wouldn't be able to do it without each and every one of you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And speaking of you, last week we asked you to book a match between Lance Storm and Bull Buchanan, and this is my favorite one. So this is from Torben, and he says, Lance Storm versus Bull Buchanan in a 3 stages of hell match. Storm cuts a promo in which he promises whoever beats him gets a shot in the Canadian porn industry, of all things. Right to Censor can't allow that and answer the open challenge, so they decide that Buchanan should go up against Storm. They brawl for about 10 minutes, when suddenly a familiar music hits. It's the Godfather's one, and he is ringside. The lights go out, and in the ring stands the Ho Train, who seduces Right to Censor. Storm climbs up 2 stages, but waits and looks down. Down in the ring, Buchanan dances with a mysterious woman, but gets kicked in the balls by her. It turns out that she actually is Nia Jax. Buchanan's balls are injured, and Storm wins the match by forfeit. So thanks to Torben for that, I guess. And since Jules isn't here, I am going to pick for you lovely people, write a fantasy booking match between Cactus Jack and Scotty Too Hottie. Leave that in the comments below and we will read out our favourites at the end of next week's show. And that is it. Thank you again so much for watching. Follow me on Twitter at FillMyChambers. Thank you to Michael Sidgwick who writes the article for this. Go and watch more videos, like the video, leave a comment, all that shit. Subscribe too, don't forget that, all the YouTube things. Click the notification bell to be notified. And I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye.